Welcome back to Life at the Manor.
Welcome back, everyone. We're back again, aren't we?
We're back again for another video, and for those of you who don't know who we are and what we're doing, and those of you that are new to the channel, I thought it'd be a right time to give you a little bit of a recap as to who we are and what we're doing and what this channel is all about.
I think that's a good idea because it's been a while since we've actually introduced ourselves, and we've got quite a few videos up now since sort of November time, haven't we? So maybe it's time to say hello again.
Yes, so Em and I have inherited this incredible Cotswold estate. We got a 1576 manor house that we're in the process of renovating. It's in plans, the plans are coming through. In that manor house we have one of the biggest model railways in the attic. That, again, another project we're doing, and this story is about us taking on the estate, bringing it into the 21st century, making it work, and I think it's so difficult to make these places work.
Yeah, and I think for us, you know, we wanted to document our journey on YouTube. You're very used to working on YouTube anyway, and it's quite a unique story, I guess, for us. We're taking it on quite sort of early in our 30s, and quite frankly, we don't know what we're doing.
We don't.
And we're really learning on the job, and that's why we wanted to share our story.
So I hope that gives you a little bit of a recap about who we are. Do go look at the videos, and please subscribe to the channel, because that will help grow the channel, and hopefully will enable us to do more projects to sustain this incredible manor house. Right, what's happening in this video? Well, we decided to take you guys on one of our dog walks, and also talk about answer all of your questions that you've been leaving over the previous videos. Now, some of them are quite deep questions, so I look forward to answering them, and also Em gets a surprise.
I do. I get a hilarious surprise. We both get a hilarious surprise
it's
in the middle of this video.
Em's first
time in the
British press.
Yeah.
Right.
Not in a good way.
Guys, enjoy. Time to get the dogs.
Okay, let's go.
See ya.
You've got more space than you have liquor.
No way!
Stood in there and you think, oh, I'd be looking out the back. That'd be amazing. There's never enough room sometimes when you've got sausage dogs, because they want to be on your lap all the time.
We've got another question in from Flame Tree Cakes, and they basically asked, where's the original kitchen garden? And for a house of the size of Chavenage, there was definitely a kitchen garden, and this was it. It's now currently my dad's house. It's called the Garden Cottage, and there used to, before my grandparents were here, there used to be this walled garden, but this would have a big greenhouse coming all the way to about here, and all the vegetables were surrounded by this. And this is because it's south facing, it's a walled garden, so it's protected, and it worked really well. Now, unfortunately, we don't have a kitchen garden right now, but it's definitely something that we're looking to get. And now my aunts have got what we call the crush yard, and they've used that as their kitchen garden. That's where we do all our vegetables. But this was the original one, and it's now looked after by my father and my stepmother. I can hear a Chinook. Oh, you see that? That was the lowest I've ever seen a Chinook helicopter. But this was the original kitchen garden, and it's pretty well looked after and maintained now. And my dad and my stepmom absolutely love this.
You love the garden cottage. You love the garden cottage. We had a question from TJ Bren 576, And he said, so much is happening. My question is, how has life at Chavenage changed how you perceive yourself? I remember when I started my business, I went from thinking of myself as a kid to an adult, despite the fact I was nearly 30. Such a good question, and something that I think about myself all the time anyway. I think when you start different businesses, you do tend to question yourself quite a lot. I know that I've doubted myself quite a lot over the past couple of years of doing things at Chavenage, and actually I've sort of felt like I needed to relearn everything after I moved to Chavenage. I worked for my family business down in Somerset for quite a long time, and after that I did have a couple of my own businesses, but it was nothing quite of the scale that we're doing now. So I really feel like I've had to sort of relearn different skills. You have to throw yourself in completely. I think I've learnt, especially for me, that the one way to do it is just completely dive in, and the things that you don't know, teach yourself. And I realised I don't know a lot of things which I thought I did know. So yeah, every day is a learning day at Chavenage. We always say that, and it's so true. And I think if you can be really open to learning new things, and not go in thinking that you know everything, then it can be to your advantage. It's been quite daunting. I think I felt like I had it together when I first arrived, and then suddenly everything kind of goes up in the air. Because there's always something that's unexpected, whether that's your dishwasher suddenly breaking down or a member of staff suddenly leaving. It's just things that I haven't necessarily dealt with before on a daily basis, and something is happening all the time that you're dealing with. I think it's taught me resilience, but I have to say it's been quite a stressful few years. Amazing, but stressful, and you kind of just learn to deal with different things. So yeah, I think definitely changed the way I perceive myself. I definitely see myself as an adult now. Feels a little bit more serious, life in general, but we're trying to have as much fun as we can while we're at it.
So yes.
Sorry, it's not much room in here. Another one.
Before we get on to the next question, I just want to say a massive thank you for everyone who's watched the tribute video where I kind of dedicated the video to my grandparents, and now sadly my grandmother is no more. We are going to take the flag down, and I'm going to take you with me because I put the flag at half-mast to represent Grandma, and now she's not here, obviously. It's time for the flag to come down, and you're coming with me. So come with me as I take the flag down, because it is quite something. Right, we got it. This is not for the faint-hearted. Off we go up into the tower. It's like going into the great unknown. Got quite a lot of cobwebs. And when I open it, everything seems to come down. Yeesh! Here we go. If anyone's scared of spiders, this isn't a job for you, and apologies for the darkness. All right, we're in the bell tower. The next flight, and then through that gap. You also couldn't do this if you were big, because it's a bit of a squeeze. What a beautiful day. Absolutely sensational. Time to get the flag down. These old ropes, I can never undo the knots. Job done. Time to get out the bell tower, back down to answer more of your questions. Let's go. Now, the last time we did a Q&A, we got asked if we're worried about the asbestos from William, and it's down there. Now, we have had multiple asbestos surveys, and we've got another asbestos survey in the next coming weeks as we look to do the renovation. So we are worried about asbestos. You don't want to mess around with it, and you want to stay well clear of it if you've got any asbestos or you think there's asbestos there. So yeah, don't worry, we are on it. Right time to go and ask the next question to my Aunt Caroline. Who's the next question from, babe? The next question is from Kimberly Hyde, who's asked how many people at one time were working on the estate. And I thought the best person to answer that question is, of course, Caroline, who basically knows pretty much everything about the estate. And so, Caroline,
Yep.
how many people at one time worked on the estate?
The most ever.
Yeah, I reckon.
I think probably you'll have to go back to the censuses for that when you know how many people live here. We have got records of the wage books.
Yeah.
And I will have to look them out at one stage. But there were... It's so difficult to tell, but when's people working and not working? Obviously, in my cottage, at one stage, there was over 11... There was 11 or 12 people living in it. But only one of them worked. But the grandmother came in and sewed in the house. So is that working or not working?
Yeah. And all the rooms up in the attic.
Yeah, well, the room above Cromwell's room was the footman's dormitory. And I think the last footman was in place in the 1931 census.
Yeah.
So then it was only, after that, it was only just one butler. But, I mean, prior, when my great-grandparents came, I would imagine there was, 2 footmen, a butler, indoor staff. There were probably 5 in the garden. But they were doing the major works at that stage.
Yeah.
Your great-grandfather built all the greenhouses in the Victorian kitchen garden. So
I did just show everyone the kitchen garden around at the garden cottage.
Yeah.
And now you actually look after the kitchen garden.
Well, I look after the original kitchen garden is down, as you say, around the kitchen garden, and that was built in Victorian times. There was a nectarine house, a cucumber house, all that area, and there must have been 4 or 5 playing. But what to remember is our heritage is engineers.
Yeah.
And my great-grandfather, your great-great-grandfather, was very interested in underground heating.
Yeah.
And so he's heating all these greenhouses, which was very modern in the time.
Yeah. And so, if you could put a number on the most amount?
I would think between 30 and 50.
Wow. And how are you finding having so little staff on the estate over the last 50 years?
Well, that's changed. There was always somebody you could go and ask to do something.
Yeah.
Now I have to ask myself, which is not.
Well, at least
or you.
At least you have all the information.
Yes,
because I think you have got all the information.
Yeah, I have and I haven't. There were the sort of family archives with all the rent books and the wage books up in the attic, but as you saw, Grandpa sort of shoving them away to make something else room up there. And there were, I mean, they used to keep everything. Every letter was stored, every book, the cellar book, which how much wine was in the cellar, and that. It is sad because it was all copyright things, but we could find them. I think some of them are in the priest's cell, some books.
Oh, and then the other question I was going to ask while I've got you is weddings was very big for manor houses like this one. What would you say is the future? Because the world evolves, so does how you generate revenue from stately manors. What would you say is the future of manor houses?
Well,
I know it's a big question.
It's a big question. I mean, I think everyone's looking for different things. When we first went into the world in 1970, it was Dad, Grandpa, and Thomas showing people around for a pre-decimalisation, so for half a crown, and that was thought to be a new way of making money, showing people around your house, but it was actually fulfilling an obligation. And then we started doing weddings, and I can't believe it. There was a local caterer called William who came over 50 years ago and approached us saying, we have weddings in the house. And so that's when we started 55 years ago, that sort of time. And then the weddings, I think we charged £300 or less.
Yeah.
For
a wedding? For £300?
Yeah, for the hire.
The hire of the place, bloody hell.
And then that went on, and weddings changed format. But a lot of houses have gone into that, in my sort of other hat with the historic houses. Trouble is, weddings, as you know yourself, are hard work.
And they're hard on the house
and they go on. And there now has been purpose-built venues. So people have found it easier to have a barn miles away from anywhere else. So the party can go on late in the night and it can be cleared up. Our job was always difficult because it was our house. And you had the party, and then within... So 4 hours, you have to turn it around to have a historic house.
which makes it difficult. And then the other thing is, a lot of people are asking, when we have filming here, do we have to stop everything?
I try desperately to work around, but my ethos has always been if somebody's booked, they came in first. The film it is irritating in a way, but then there's never a big lead-up time.
Yeah.
So you don't know almost the week before when they're coming or what they're doing.
But we do love having filming.
We love having filming. We particularly like their breakfast.
Yeah.
But it is difficult working the rest of your life around them.
Yeah.
No doubt. And there are people who find it impossible and they don't have filming any longer and the film crew don't go around there. So, we've got filming coming up and they're filming from 6 p.m. till 3:30 in the morning.
It means we're going to get fed, Caroline.
Get fed.
Which is a plus.
But no sleep.
But no sleep, exactly. Right, I'm going to leave you because I know you're busy. Thank you so much.
Pleasure.
Dad, you okay?
I'm very good. How are you?
You having a good day?
Yeah, not bad. Nice. Nice.
Any tours today?
No tours. First day without a tour for weeks.
And how's your gym?
My gym is hard. Second day in a row, gym.
Second day in a row?
Yeah.
Oh, well done, Dad.
Yeah.
Right, I think we've got a question for you, Dad.
Okay.
Brian asks, does the manor have a large lake or pond? It seems like a good place for a large fishing lake.
Unfortunately, where we are on the Cotswolds is not a very good place for lakes because it's very free draining rock underneath here, and it's not very conducive for lakes or ponds. If you do have a pond, you have to line it with clay to keep the water in it, which is what the dew ponds around the fields have in it. But it would be very difficult to make a lake here.
And why are there so many dew ponds?
There's so many dew ponds because each field had its own pond where the cattle could get water from in the 18th century before they had any form of water works around the farm.
And the other question I have for you, Dad, are you going to get back metal detecting looking for these pistols?
I'm really keen to get down there again. Should we do that?
I think we should get back, but I actually have to ask someone to borrow another metal detector.
Right, did you have to give that one back?
Well, I had to give that one back.
That was a good one.
And then we had a question going, can I take people up to see the Roman ruin up at Cranmore?
I think so.
Do you know anything more about that?
I don't know very much about that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a very substantive bit of Roman fortification, with very square shape.
Yeah.
Quite big, and various amateur people have dug into it occasionally.
Oh, I think that is going to be a future video
project.
And I also noticed you're not driving your usual.
No, I've got your one.
You're driving Jeff, Dad.
I'm driving Jeff, which is rather fun. The first time I've driven Jeff.
Right, what's the next question?
So, James, given your family's military tradition and history,
Yes.
were you ever taken with the idea to join up and serve? Perhaps family military history could be explored in another video.
We are going to explore our military history because our military history is actually quite long. Now, the story behind me going into the military was that I grew up.
That was the plan, wasn't it?
I grew up expecting myself to be a military serving man. Went to school. Actually, I tried to do a scholarship. I didn't really want to go to the army. I ended up wanting to go into the Marines, and so I wanted to do a scholarship into the Marines. I started mountaineering to stand out from the crowd. I had this great aim of becoming the youngest to climb Everest, and I ended up with my school climbing Mont Blanc with some other good friends, and to train for that I got into cycling. And then I ploughed through cycling and signed my first pro deal with a guy called Nigel Mansell, who I'll show you there. Big up Nigel Mansell. And I did that for 3 or 4 years with him, and then I keep signing, and then it got to the age of 27, and then I was like, I'm too old to join the army, so I ended up not. I think my family would have loved me to have joined the military earlier, but I'm quite happy that I didn't.
And you've had an amazing career in cycling.
I have, but I am looking at going into the reserves and serving that way. It's just finding the time. And now we've got so many projects, we've got a big house and got so much to do, so I'm struggling to find the time. But I am actually looking at joining the reserves as soon as I have time. Would you be happy about me joining the military?
If it's something that you really wanted to do, of course. But I don't want to be left here running this by myself.
I think you'd do an amazing job. I think it's time for the next question. Should we go to a different location?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
We we have a question from Joe, who is new to the channel. Thank you so much for watching, Joe. And Joe has asked if we have people to help clean the house, or how do we do it? And as you can see, things are a little bit of a mess at the moment, and it's such a big house to clean. And we used to have somebody called Della here who was here for a really long time, and sadly I never got to meet Della, but I heard the most incredible things, and she used to help in the house. But now we have Justina, who cleans Mondays and Fridays, so we do have one person helping. Other than that, it is just family.
Why is it such a mess?
Well, at the moment it looks like this because of filming, but it doesn't usually look like this in here if you've seen our previous videos. But this has become a little bit of a storeroom to make way for big production. See the thing?
Oh my god, I did not realise you could play the piano. So next question is from Rachel Ann Bradbury, who basically asks, who loves watching the channel, so massive thanks. Also, she loves watching YouTube. This is also a good thing. She asked, what's happening with the yoga studio, and are you doing Pilates?
Yes, it's a really good question, and thank you so much, and thank you for your Instagram love. I do see it. Yes, so very excitingly we are teaming up with Amelia and Lottie, and they are hoping to create a yoga studio. Well, we are creating a yoga studio, but it's not just yoga, it's going to be Pilates and bar and spin with you.
I'm going to be doing spinning classes,
which is super exciting.
I think I can drag Manon in as well.
I think you can drag Manon in, yeah. Maybe Beaumont.
Maybe Beaumont, yeah, exactly.
And there's going to be all sorts of workshops. We want to do Qigong, we want to do mum and baby classes. It's going to be a very versatile space. And I'm really honoured that Amelia and Lottie have asked me to sort of help them with it. So yeah, it's essentially we're gaining a new business onto the estate, and that's going to be very exciting. And it's all to do with health and wellness, which is right up our street.
We're definitely getting into the health and wellness, which I think is only a good thing, because that is a whole market that's growing, and we're also really into it ourselves. So yeah, you're going to see a lot more health and wellness from Chavenage.
Yeah. So
time to move. Excited. Next location. Next question.
Let's go. Oh my god, guys. Our cousin and brother-in-law, my brother James's brother, has just sent us this. We got papped last night, and we're now on the Daily Mail in the car going to a party, and somebody said Oliver Chris, who plays James Verica, was spotted arriving at the venue. That's not Oliver Chris, that's James Lacey Williams and Emma Lacey Williams, and I look utterly shocked about something. I think it was the fact that there was a pap there. That's the funniest thing I've ever seen, and my first time on the Daily Mail, guys. Not James's first time. Didn't think that would be my first time on the Daily Mail, but there we go. Oh my god, no I can't. This is my first picture of me on the Daily Mail, eating a cupcake in the car.
Em has been wanting to go on the Daily Mail, and finally she's made it, but I don't think in the right way, because I think she was expecting herself to be on the Daily Mail looking prim and proper, but that doesn't happen. I think we need to put up a picture of, who is it? Oliver Chris, because they might look like me. Anyway, we were off to a party, and we got papped. But let's get on to some serious stuff. Right, next question. I think Em is freaking out. He's 46 years old. Are you joking?
They said James is Oliver Chris, who's 46.
He's 40. He's 46. Triplet3283 asked, am I related to Princess Diana? The answer is yes. I'm related to her through marriage, through the McCorkdale family. The McCorkdale family was my grandmother's family, so so that is where the connection is. So whoever spotted that out, amazing. Next question.
Lee Prophet has asked James and Em, would you ever consider doing a bonfire fireworks night on the estate in November? And the answer is yes, absolutely. We would love to do something like that, and we do have a perfect spot for it. But we do have to jump through a lot of hoops with the council. So I think when we have a bit more time, it's definitely not going to be this year. We've got a lot of other commitments, but I think as the years goes on, it would be lovely to do. And if we do an inaugural Chavenage fireworks night, we will make sure to invite you. This is the most perfect space for a yoga class, especially, can you imagine in weather like this? It'd be so gorgeous. Here's Winnie coming to her yoga class. But this is the old grass tennis court, so it's really nice and flat, and would be perfect for a little outdoor class. So,
And with a view.
and with a view of the beautiful house. Joe has asked, how do we find living and working together?
Do you want the honest answer?
That's a big question, isn't it?
We do wring each other's necks.
Yeah, we do.
If I'm gonna be absolutely honest, it's been a baptism of fire.
Yeah, it has.
We've loved every minute of it. Don't get me wrong, but we're never not with each other, which is a good thing and a bad thing.
I think it's always nice to have a bit of our own space, but we don't really have that because we love socialising together as well, and we don't want to lose that. So, I mean, we hang out all the time, just us, but it now we work together full time. There is no in between.
No.
So, yeah, it has been quite intense, hasn't it, over the past, I'd say the last 6 months especially.
Yeah, but very rewarding because you're in it together.
Yeah.
And I think, like, look, it was very different. You know, I was working at GCN, I was away Monday to Friday, didn't get back till about 7, and now you're on top of each other.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't change it, and it's amazing to have not only your best friend but also your wife working with you, because you both give 110% and there's nothing more than that. And then when you're building your own company, you know, it's so rewarding, but it is a long game, and there's no short-term win on a new company, in my opinion.
And I think for us it's actually probably a good thing because, you know, eventually we would have worked together anyway, and actually, you know, especially when we move into the house, we're never probably going to stop working together now. This is like a lifelong thing, so we might as well get used to it.
Yeah, these
in our
estates,
30s.
I think if you're taking on this estate or something like this, you're in it together.
Yeah, you are.
And it's a lifelong work, and you've got to enjoy the process. And the key tip, if I was saying to myself through the camera, what would you do to like help your relationship as you work and live together? I would say, get a date night in and make sure you remember that quality time.
Need to do.
Am I good at that?
You're terrible at making time for date night, but definitely date night. And also, I think it's really important, and we need to preach this to ourselves, but to get off the estate sometimes.
Yeah, and let's walk away because they've started the. They've started the beeping again. I make sure you get some quality time in together.
We love
because
it, but
that's important.
But it is sometimes quite hard as well.
It is, and there's no harm in being honest with it.
That's life.
We still love each other, even though sometimes we shout at each other, and that's okay.
Right, the dogs have had a lovely walk, and we better get back to work. But thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you've got any burning questions for us, please do let us know in the comments, and we will answer them in our next Q&A. I hope you all have a beautiful weekend, and we can't wait to see you next Friday.
Dad, what do you think?
George, I'm in the Daily Mail.
You're in the Daily Mail, Em. You're famous now. You've made it.
Time, and I could not have looked worse. I thought
You look very serious.
so naively. I thought
You're like the
that
Queen.
photographer as we went in, I thought was for the party. Was like a photographer for the party. I nearly went, hello.
It's just the Daily Mail as we're looking at now today.
Yeah, they were papping people as they went in. We went to a very special party. That's why. It's not because we're famous.
Dad, how come you're not in the Daily Mail?
Well, obviously I'm not nearly famous enough.